Hey y'all, I am debating about whether or not to post this video as I'm doing it. I think all vloggers probably experience that at some point. Like, we just feel so exhausted and vulnerable about the content we're putting out that even though we feel led to talk about it, it's crazy to just like show this to the world and be like, this is what I'm going through and this is my emotion for today and all of that. I always come back to hoping it will help somebody, and also hoping one day when I look back, it will help me, because I'll be like, you survived that. You went through that and you got past it, and so will other people. I also do it and I put content out there so that others can either relate to me or they can advise me. I think it's so important to always be able to listen and to appreciate and to hear other perspectives and points of view. Not everyone is always going to agree with you in life, y'all. It's just not how it works. But I feel if you want people's, respect, you should always be willing to hear them. So thank you if you've taken time to watch this video, to listen to me, and to care long enough to, just hear what's going on today. That means a great deal to me. So I really do appreciate that. So I look like I've been crying. Sure have. If you've been following my channel, you know that this channel is about getting out of your relationship, being in a toxic relationship, starting over pretty much from scratch. Very grateful that I had a job, that I have a job, and everything, but that doesn't mean it's easy. So I made a channel to advise people about that. And also to, on my journey, y'all will have noticed that I have been very, very sick. A lot of my videos, I'm coughing, I'm hoarse, it's prolonged, it goes on and on and on. It goes away a little bit and then comes back. And I don't talk a lot about what's going on with me medically, but in this video, I want to. It's a very hard video for me to make because even though I am vulnerable on my channel, I want to be able to keep it together. I want to be able to say, I'm okay and I can get through this and, act like this is a battle I've already defeated when I haven't. Act like I don't cry about this when I do. Act like I've outgrown this when I'm in my almost 40s and I have not. If you're friends with me in real life and you know me in real life, I know that my medical stuff may scare you. I know that you may see me struggling with it, and you're confused. And you're like, why does she get sick and she doesn't get better? Why is she on all these medications and she still looks like crap? Why is she coughing and going to work looking brutally sick? Not that I've had lots of questions about this, but there has been questions, over time, just more so people trying to be supportive, but also just confused at like, why do I stay sick? First and foremost, I want to say that I don't know why I stay sick. Ever since I was a baby, let's start there. I have been, sickly. I just had chronic infections and the struggle was always so, I don't think that I responded great to medications when I was a baby. But I'm not sure because I don't really remember that far back. I'm sure I was given a lot of stuff, a lot of medicines. I'm sure I probably was. As I got older, it got increasingly more difficult. I started going to an ENT. I got tubes. I got tonsils removed, adenoids removed. Tonsils were actually removed twice. I have since had a sinus surgery. I've had all kinds of upper respiratory, bronchial, bronchitis, once pneumonia, mono, all different kind of illnesses, sicknesses that have been really, really tough to recover from. And in some form or another, obviously, I always have recovered from them. But with that being said, there are just certain career fields that I've always found it even extra difficult to work in because I get sick so easily. And one of those is childcare. And so right now I'm a teacher and I'm definitely faced with what to do about that because I've applied to other stuff. It would be better that I had a career that was not around people. So basically, I've had a whole bunch of tests done and not a whole lot of answers. I had an infectious disease doctor in Charleston. I've had the ENT. I've had a pulmonologist, I think is what you call it. Specialists are expensive, y'all. If you're dealing with medical problems, my heart goes out to you. You can't just go to a specialist because you need a specialist. Specialists are unbelievably expensive. Like, unbelievably expensive. And I'm talking $500 for one visit for my infectious disease doctor. That's how much it cost. That didn't last very long because I couldn't hold up that. I thought my insurance was going to cover it, and they did not. So basically, I've had a whole lot of testing done, and we have not really been able to figure out what is wrong, why I don't respond to medications, why my immunity is crap, why nebulizers don't work, why, and I'm just going to list off a couple of medications, okay? Y'all ready? Why the Z-Pak, which is zithromycin, Ceftin, why even amoxicillin does it not that great. What's another one? Rozefin. Rozefin is a sorry, I just got a text message. Rozefin is one that you get injected with. It goes straight into your, I guess, bloodstream. Doesn't work. Doxycycline. Doesn't work. Nothing. No, I feel sicker on doxycycline. Granted, these are technically chemicals that are going into our body. I don't know if you've ever seen medication commercials, but they're like, well, the medication will help with this, but then they give you like a paragraph of like all the stuff that it could cause. So it's just possible my body does not accept chemicals. It just wants to throw them out. But with that being said, when I get sick like this, I mean, not only does my neck and my throat swell up, like everything hurts. Everything hurts. It hurts to swallow. I feel achy. I feel so tired. When I get a cough, but like it could be a month or two before it starts going away. Cough all night, strangle, throw up. It's horrible. It's horrible to deal with. Nose sprays don't do anything. I have found a couple of things that are not medication wise that do help. Like tea with honey helps a lot. And that's soothing for my throat. So I drink a lot of Throat Coat. That's what the tea is called. You can find it at Walmart. Throat Coat. I really like it. I actually need to grab some honey when I go to Ingles today to get my prescription. So I'm very happy that I just thought of that. I just got Starbucks. Let me take a drink really quick because Lord knows I need that today. I need to drink more than coffee. You know what I'm saying? But this is what we got. Hot stuff feels so good on my throat. It feels so good. Oh my God. So I forget even where I was. But yeah. Okay. So I went to the doctor today. I go see this one particular doctor at Doctor's Care because he knows me. He's seen me a lot. He knows my situation. And he kind of was talking about, like, at this point, I really need to go to see a specialist in the area that deals with either pulmonology, breathing stuff, or I forget what the other doctor's called, but it has to do with, like, a blood disorder, blood doctor. And I'm telling him, this is what I told him, y'all, like, we're just being completely vulnerable. I told him that I used my food money, which I did, to see him. That's how low money I have right now. I have savings, I have a little bit of savings, but I don't want to dip into that. That's for absolute, like, that's for if I have to go to the hospital. Like, we'll look at using that. Or I don't have rent money. I'll look at using that. But that's not for right now, just going to a specialist and spending, $500-$800 for one visit if I could survive it. You know what I mean? Without doing that. I told him that, and whenever a doctor feels really defeated and frustrated by the fact that he can't cure me, they start to kind of verbalize that with you. I don't know if you have experienced that, but they just kind of sound like, he was just kind of like, I don't want to, waste my time because I keep treating you, and, nothing really gets better. And I felt like at that point, I just completely emotionally collapsed. And hearing him say that, and I know he didn't mean it like he was saying it, but I just started sobbing. I just sat on that thing in the doctor's office, and I cried and cried and cried. And, I think he was a little bit at first, like, oh, like just shocked by that. He seemed to realize what he had said, and why it had affected me. And, it makes me just emotional just thinking about it, because if you suffer from medical situations and sicknesses and you fight it and you try to get better, I cannot verbalize how scary it is to get sick and to watch everybody go to the doctor and get medicines and know that it won't work for you. Like, I don't know how to say that, in a way that where I'm not like I'm completely exhausted and defeated. Do I just lie there and feel everything? Like, do I just lie there and always be sick? Like, my friends check on me and I'm always sick, Do I just work when I'm sick? Do I work when I am sick? Because I don't know what else to do. Because I can't get myself better. And doctors can't get me better. And doctors need to test me to figure out what's wrong. And all this other stuff. So, I do care about this doctor that sees me because he's so good with me. And he did look at me and he was just like, listen, I don't want you to feel ashamed to come here. He's like, if you need to come here and you're sick, still come back. Still come. At least it's a place to come. He's like, I only have so many medications, I'm working with that I can help you with. But at the same time, he was like, he didn't want me to feel like I didn't have anybody. And I told him, I was just like, listen, I'm open to specialists, but I'm struggling financially. I'm working full time. I'm exhausted. And, I'm doing all the x-rays. I'm doing everything he wants me to do. The x-rays are coming back completely clear. They thought maybe I had pneumonia, but I don't have pneumonia. Like, I don't cry on my channel. Like, I never cry on my channel. But that's how it feels. That's how it feels. When you're so tired and you feel miserable and you want to feel better and you're taking care of yourself. I am out here in the middle of flipping nowhere in Easley, South Carolina. I don't know anybody here other than people at my work. I want to go back to where I know people. I want to go back to my church. I want to go back to my friends. I don't want to be here alone. I don't want to be doing this alone. And again, that's all part of like a breakup and being used to having comfort and having somebody being able to drive you to the doctor or get your medicines. And now all of a sudden you don't have that anymore. It's all a part of grief and loss, and it's not a choice. No amount of crying or me feeling bad about it changes anything. But there's something to say for being in a relationship and being able to take care of each other when the other one is weak. And then all of a sudden doing it by yourself and being hit with it. With working, living out in the middle of nowhere, trying to take care of yourself medically. And just, you feel like everything's breaking down. You feel like you're breaking down. You feel like your car is breaking down. You feel like your financial structure of what you're trying to do and save for is breaking down. All, like, your goals, all of it. And I know, again, this is just a hard day. I know that. I know I get in these mindsets where I get so defeated and so sad and I just cry and I'm just like I don't know what to. I see other people just have like families and children, and it's so easy to judge a book by its cover. It's so easy to envy. I recently got back on Facebook because I was like, oh, well, I heard you had to be on there for a month to use the dating apps or something on there. I shouldn't have got back on there at all. I like looking at pictures and already doing what I did before, which was just being like, wow, I wish I had that situation. Oh, I wish I had that situation. But it's pictures. It's not, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. It's envy. It's not good. Jealousy is not good. But it is something I've always struggled with wanting certain things and knowing I don't have them, and whatnot. So anyway, the doctor prescribed me 2 more antibiotics. He prescribed me my nebulizer solution that I needed. He did spend some time with me. He did talk to me about some ideas of certain specialists I could look into if I was able to look into them. He did talk to me about living somewhere drier, somewhere that did not have so much humidity. He felt like maybe the humidity actually makes me really sick. And maybe where it was dry, I would have less like chronic infections. So he talked about like New Mexico, which I've never been there. That'd be somewhere I'd have to go. Like I don't, what, I'm supposed to move out literally in the middle of nowhere? Like, I can't. But it was just an idea. He wanted me to get out of childcare because he felt like there was so much germs in childcare. And so sometimes, even though advice is good, you feel like they're literally telling you you're doing everything wrong. So I don't need to work at my job anymore. I need to live in New Mexico. How do I do that? Like, what? How do I make that happen? It's ideas, it's good, it's brainstorming, but I don't know. I'm so tired. I'm tired of so much stuff. So thankful I have access to medication. Going to go get that. I went by Starbucks just to give myself a minute because I knew I was upset. I'm getting my medication because, so when I was at the doctor, my aunt texted me and she said that, you know, my granddad still had a little bit of money left over. And if you do not know, my granddad passed away right before I moved up here. Like, while I was on the way moving up here, he started to pass away. And that's a whole, we ain't talking about that one today. We were talking about crying. He had a little bit of money left over, apparently, and my aunt was able to give me a little bit of it towards my car, because I had an $800 car payment. So she gave me a little bit of cash from him to put towards my credit card debt that I had to pay to keep my car going. And then when I went to the doctor, I had to use a lot of the money, that I was going to eat with. And wasn't sure. I was sitting there thinking, kind of adding it up in my head and being like, okay, if he's adding nebulizer solution and medications, and how do I, even with insurance, how do I, am I going to pay? I don't think I even had enough in my account to pay for all of this, and I told her what was going on, and then I was like, I just cried at the doctor and everything, and she said my granddad had had a little bit of extra money left over still, that he had left behind, and that, she was going to send me some to help with to help with my medication so that I can get it. And again, it's like, he's still taking care of me. He's not here, but he's still taking care of me. Because that's who I would have called for help. That was my person. That is who I always called for help. So I'm incredibly grateful to him for everything he was in my life. And the fact that he's still here and being able to do something like that for me to help get me better. He put me through school. He got me my cars. He paid for me to learn to drive. I don't know. I don't think I would still be on this earth without my grandparents and my aunt. I don't think so. Let me see if I can reel it in a little bit more. Everything is just so expensive. Everyone is struggling. Everyone's struggling with food and with medication and with needing something, and everybody's working so hard. Everybody's so depleted. I'm just so depleted today. I took 2 days off of work because yesterday I knew that psychologically and physically I needed to. I could not work like that. I was strangling and choking and coughing, and my throat was swollen. I couldn't swallow anything. And I had started to feel better, but then it got cold and snowed, and then everything reversed. And again, I know this will all fade away and pass, and I'll look back at this video and go, damn, that was a hard time. That was a hard day. That was a really hard day. But I feel like it is so important to be vulnerable and open with y'all, because especially when I'm sharing my story, because this is me, this is authentic. I cry. I'm strong and I give advice, but I cry. I have days where I don't know what to do. I don't know what the answers are. Medically, I am feeling a lot of stuff that's really, really hard right now. Sometimes not having answers is worse than having answers. You know what I mean? Not in all cases. Sometimes the answers are horrific. Sometimes it's better not to know, probably. I don't know if I'll ever know. I feel like, I know this is a horrible thing to say. I feel like if I don't know at some point how to help myself or how to fix this, I don't feel like I'm going to live a long life. I don't think that will happen. Because I have so many immunities to medications that if and when I have an emergency and I'm going to need emergency help and treatment, it isn't going to work. And that's just something I have to come to terms with and realize and do the best I can with every day that I am given. Because this doctor was even like, in a couple more days, if you're still sick, you need to go to the hospital. What in the world is that going to help? They're going to give me maybe some IV meds, maybe putting it again right into my bloodstream, maybe. As soon as I walk through that emergency room door, it's going to be $500. As soon as I sit down in that waiting room, that's another $1,000. Y'all know how that is. I would never get out of hospital debt. I've been in hospital debt before. It was horrific. I was hardly there at all. Bills kept coming and coming and coming. I thought they were never going to stop. While I was at the doctor, they did give me a nebulizer treatment to help open up my lungs. I do have a nebulizer next to me. I have my solution called in. I had left my solution, I think, with my ex-boyfriend at his house. He did bring my nebulizer up, but for some reason, my solutions are all missing. And I think there's a possibility he threw them away. He didn't know what they were. I guess. I wish he had looked. I wish he had called me. I wish he had just thrown medications away. He said there was a really big box of medications he threw away. Because it wouldn't travel well, he said. You could have asked me. Like, if they're not your medications, whose medications do you think they were? But, I mean, what can I do? He threw them away. At least the nebulizer's here. At least there's that. So, I'm going to go and get my 2 prescriptions. Do my nebulizer treatment. Be very thankful today for that money that came through. And it just makes me so emotional because I'm like, gosh, it takes care of us when we really need it to. So many of us, though, are trying to make money and we're not making it. I know I keep saying that, but I'm just like, I don't know what the answer is. I do watch some people's content on their channels about low income and hard economy. I do see other subscribers' comments, and they literally say things like that are painful to read for me. People say things like, well, you know, you really should just be working harder and not asking for public's money and not having a Cash App. Y'all, listen, I'm about in a place where I would open a Cash App, and I've never said that. Ever. I've never asked for help. I've never asked for money. But I have also helped people before, including financially before, that needed help. I feel like we shame other people that are asking for help. I don't think we should do that. You don't have to help somebody. You don't have to give money. You can have your own opinion about it. But to make them feel guilty for literally putting up a link and going, hey, if y'all have anything, literally anything, to throw towards me, you know, to help me get groceries, to help me get some medicine, that would be amazing. I feel like the more we shame people, the more we become more ashamed, the people that are asking, and we feel like, well, that's not even an option to ask if those that are maybe doing a little bit better, that would be willing to give, would give. I don't think that's fair, personally. That's just my own personal opinion, but I see people that are working jobs, plural, that are, you know, going to school and working a job, or, you know, it's not like they're just standing there going, give me money. They're literally like, I can't afford life. I am doing everything I know to do, and I can't. I am literally at that place. That's literally where I am right now. Where I get paid every 2 weeks. I have taken on an hour of overtime every day. Overtime. So that means I work like 40 hours a week on top of 5 extra hours a week. Now, again, that's a 45-hour week. That is not a 75 or 80 or 90, which some people are working. I understand that some people work their jobs and they go right into another job for 8 hours. Y'all, again, being completely transparent, I think I would die. I think medically I would collapse. I do not think my immune system would survive that. My heart, my mind, and my heart wishes I could do that. I wish I had the strength to take on 3 jobs right now. To do it myself, to push through it, to be strong enough, and go, this economy is really hard, and so I'm just going to have to figure it out. But there is beauty and respect, and hopefully understanding, and being able to say that I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm doing the best I can, and I feel like medically I'm semi-collapsing from the germs that are in my school, from the kids don't mean to, but a lot of them are always sick, and so they come on to me, and then I have to spend all this money on medical care while I'm trying to work full-time and pay my rent, and pay my car, pay my phone, and pay my insurance, and pay my medical bills, and my car payment, not my car payment, but my car credit card, like, my food, where does food come in? It's... I can only do the best I can do. I can only do the best I can do. This is at 24 minutes, so I'm about to stop it. This video going to get some major editing. I know that right now. I can't show as much crying as I've done in this video. There's no way. That's way too much, but I appreciate that y'all hung out and chilled with me and just listened to this. And that you empathize, that you care. And just y'all saying you're sorry. If I do open a Cash App link, I don't even know how to do that yet. I'd have to look into it. If I do, I'll first talk about it on my channel. I hope you won't judge me for it. I hope you'll understand that I don't have parents in my life. I have absolutely no financial support other than myself right now. And I'm renting a room in an apartment with a sweet girl, and I'm very thankful for her. I don't know long term how to, but I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about that because things change. Things will change. And there'll be other opportunities and options and jobs. And so I don't want to feel like I'm going to be stuck here in the same place in a couple of years. But for right now, it is really hard. Again, working a full-time job, but all of the bills, everything is gone. And I can, when I go to the store, I'm just like, I have a panic attack because I can hardly buy food. I've looked into food stamps, and I don't qualify because I make too much. I work enough overtime where I am above the limit of like the max you can make to get food stamps. So I'm not even gonna apply because the website says that. I haven't gone back to school because I don't want to take on the debt. I am looking into it. I was thinking about it, but if I'm not ultimately going to do a career in childcare, not much point in going for a teaching degree. So I don't know. I think I need to get my medicine and eat and go lay down. That's what I think needs to happen today, because I think that's all the answers that are happening. And then tomorrow I need to focus on going back to work. I have 2 more days this week. Get through it. I actually took, is it Monday off next week? Because I didn't know I was going to get sick and have to take these other 2 days off. All of it's PTO. I'm so thankful for that. We get 10 days of PTO. I'm not doing any big vacation, unfortunately, but I am using it for being sick, and I'm thankful it's there. I have worked jobs where you did not get PTO. You had to earn it. You had to work a certain amount of hours. They'd work you right under those hours, so you didn't average any PTO. No, this job, 10 days of PTO automatically every year. You have it in your account, and you can use it at any time you want to, as long as you do it ahead of time and it's approved. So that saved me. Oh, mercy, that saved me. But I have to go back tomorrow. I have to be strong. I have to go back. I need to go back home and maybe edit this video. I could do that. But yeah, if you are suffering from a medical condition, if you don't have answers, if you feel frustrated and tired and worn out, burned out, just overall exhausted, mentally, physically, spiritually, all of it, I feel it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Some days we just need to sit there and cry. And as much as I believe in motivation and strength and just loving each other through it and having friends and not giving up and praying, I also believe in showing people who you are and being willing to be vulnerable and say you're not alone. This does hurt. I see you. I validate you all day long. It is a painful, painful process to go through. But I continue to say, don't give up. I continue to say the Lord is there and that He sees you, He has you. Just like my granddad that came through for me. He's in heaven, but he was able to pay for my medications today. Stuff will happen for you in your life that you won't be able to explain and you won't expect. I did not expect that to happen today. I had no idea there was anybody left. The Lord will never let you fall. He will never let you fall. You will feel afraid, but He will never let you completely fall. I can't answer why certain things happen. I'm not mad at the Lord for it. He created me, and He has always rescued me, and He has always loved me. I don't think anything medically that I have happened to me is because He's intentionally ever wanted to hurt me. Could He cure me? Yes, He could. Could He cure a whole lot of people? Yes, He could. I don't have the answers for why that doesn't happen. Things to ask Him one day. But I've also seen Him heal. And I have seen Him turn people's lives around. And I've seen miracles happen. And sometimes, in order to be able to see those things, there has to be other negative things that are happening for us to be able to see, like the stars. That there has to be darkness for us to see the stars. It's a tough way. It's a tough thing to say, but maybe sometimes people need to be used as examples. I always think that sometimes I've gone through what I've gone through so that I can help other people, and so that I could realize I could do it, and I can survive, and I can be independent, I can stand back up. But y'all, I would never have had to stand or crawl if I had lived in certain environments in life. If I had been granted a whole bunch of money and a whole bunch of just basically leisure. I know we dream of lives like that. What would it be like, But I wouldn't have been able to relate, and I would have walked by people and not seen them. I would have had no desire to make this channel. I tell y'all that right now. I wouldn't even known how to relate or talk to y'all. I wouldn't have understood people's crises or what grief felt like or what the point was of being vulnerable. Why would I have needed to do that? So I think He gave me the road He gave me for a reason. And it wasn't an easy road. And I think He knew that before I was born. And I think He probably... it probably hurt His heart to know what He was going to have to take from me in order for me to be able to teach other people. I think a lot of times we get confused and we think that the Lord is causing it, or that He would have wanted us to have to endure it. But we have to remember that He did die on the cross, and He did endure for us to forgive us of our sins. And He did that for a purpose, and He understood why it was happening. Didn't mean He loved it, didn't mean that God, I believe there was a part in the Bible, correct me if I'm wrong, but where He called out to God, and I feel like God had turned away from Him, in the last minutes, because He was going to have to die on the cross. And I am sure God did not want that to happen, but it had to happen. I just feel that so strongly about what I have faced in my life, that there is a purpose. I have to believe that. And that He sees me, and that I am His daughter, and that He is sorry. Which is why, even when I felt very alone, He has always come through and gone, here is a resource. Here is an answer. Here is somewhere to live. Here is a way to get food. I know that's not everybody's story, but I also know the relationship I've always had with him. Even when I was like homeless and living on my friend's floor when I was younger, I went to church and I prayed and I journaled, and I'm telling you, the Lord hears you and he draws near you when you have faith and you need him. That's the only way I know how to explain that maybe he's done certain things for me that other people haven't experienced. I have never been angry at the Lord. I have always trusted. And he knows that. So, I need to stop crying and get it together and eat something and get my medicine and vlog again soon so y'all know that I'm okay, because I will be. I swear to y'all that this is the most vulnerable video I have ever put out there if I end up posting this. This may be one of those ones where I'm like, okay, I just needed to get that out of my system, and then we delete it. I'm gonna edit it down and see how I feel. It's gonna be okay, and I'm gonna figure it out. I will see y'all later. Thank you again for everything, and I look forward to the next time I talk to you, hopefully updating you with some more positive, motivational stuff. But until then, be gentle with your soul, give yourself grace, and rest if you feel tired and stressed, and know that it will pass. It will pass for me, and it will pass for you. See you next time. Bye.